Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review of House of Gucci, the 2021 film. It is rated R with a runtime of 2 hours and 37 minutes. So House of Gucci explores and is inspired by the shocking true story of the family behind the Italian fashion empire. So going into this movie, and I guess I don't want to call them spoilers because this is kind of like not historical movie, but it's based on true events with true characters. So you probably going into this, you know, kind of what happens. But I won't go into too many details either way. So the movie follows Patrizia Reggiani, an outsider from humble beginnings who marries into the Gucci family. Her unbridled ambition begins to unravel their legacy and triggers a reckless spiral of betrayal, decadence, revenge, and ultimately murder. Uh, yeah, that sounds like a lot, but so this is directed by Ridley Scott, written by Becky Johnston, Roberto Bentivegna, and is based on the book by Sarah Gay Forden. As of recording of this video, the movie has 62% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics and an 89% of the audience. I would lean closer to the audience, although not as high as 89%. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about why. So the movie stars Lady Gaga as Patrizia Reggiani, Adam Driver as Mauricio Gucci, Al Pacino as Aldo Gucci, Jeremy Irons as Rodolfo Gucci, Jared Leto as Paolo Gucci, and Jack Huston as Domenico De Sole. Please don't drink every time I say Gucci because otherwise you will pass out before the end of the video. So going into the movie, I knew a little bit about, I knew kind of what was going to happen, but I'm not like, I didn't follow the story of Gucci and the brand and what's going on. Like, you know, I think all that stuff happened when I could not care less about any of this stuff when I was younger. So I was pretty excited. I remember seeing pictures of Lady Gaga and Adam Driver as their characters. I'm a big fan of Ridley Scott, although, you know, he keeps blaming us for his movie not doing well, The Last Duel, which I'll watch when, you know, when it's out on VOD. I didn't get to watch it at the theaters, but millennials did not. It was not our fault, really. But this one, I enjoyed this movie, and I kind of took it for what it was. I think Lady Gaga and Adam Driver deliver excellent performances. Al Pacino and Jeremy Irons are always great. If my one complaint would be that I didn't see them on screen together enough. I think like when you have people like that, like just let them go. Like they, you know, these guys have been around for so long and they're so great at their craft. Like just let them go. Jared Leto played Paolo Gucci. He felt his character sometimes felt a little bit like he was in a different movie, like a, I don't know, like a comedy or a soap opera or a skit of sometimes like a parody of the story of Gucci. But I mean, he definitely transformed for the role. I gotta commend him for that. So yeah, anything with Paulo definitely was not my favorite, but I understand that he's an integral part of the story. And then Jack Houston, I think he's the, well, for most of the movie, he seems to be like the stand-in for the audience, but he's definitely a big part of the story as well. I really like the movie, and even though at some points it felt like a bit of a soap opera, it never looked like a soap opera. I'll tell you that. Like, I don't want to say that it looked. It's just the feel of the story of like what was happening, the dialogue. A little bit sometimes felt, you know, and if you like soap operas and that's your jam, and you like the drama, then I think you'll definitely like this. Like I mentioned, Adam Driver throughout the whole movie, I think he's amazing. He's an amazing actor as well. All the scene, getting to see him act with Al Pacino and Jeremy Irons and Lady Gaga, who also really went all out. So yeah, I mean, it was impressive and amazing. The movie is a little bit long. I feel like to me there's a lull towards the middle where we're kind of transitioning from the story. Like I feel like the story drills down a lot into the details of the company, and at points the movie couldn't decide, is this, how important is the everyday business of the Gucci empire to the story of what's going on. And although it is important, I don't think we needed to spend as much time with some of the more fine details of the Gucci empire, and their, how the business was actually doing at the time. It is an important piece because it colors everything in the story. I just don't think we needed to spend as much time with a lot of the legalese and the investors and all that stuff. Um, Also, sometimes it was a little hard to tell the passing of time because, I mean, for most of the movie, like, the characters look very much the same. Like, you can tell their hair is different. Um, one of the best ways to tell was Lady Gaga and Adam Driver. At some point, they have the kid together in the movie, so the time's passing because um, their daughter keeps getting older. But that's about it. And all the, like, Al Pacino and Jeremy Irons, they look the same throughout the whole movie. Also, Jared Leto, Paolo Gucci, like, he looks the same throughout the whole movie. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting how it's not that I needed, like, oh, this is now the year 1990 or whatever, but just casually in the dialogue, and they do throw it in a few times. But because this movie takes place in mainly the 80s and the 90s, it's kind of hard to tell, especially because the fashion, to me at least, because these are individuals that are in high fashion. They're very fashion forward, so it's hard to tell. Like, they don't dress like 80s characters. They're already dressing like early 90s, so it's hard to tell. I don't know. That was a weird. And let me know in the comments if that's a weird complaint. Um, but yeah, overall, I like the movie. It's not my favorite Ridley Scott movie, but it's a great performance. And like I said, I'm a big fan of that Adam Driver, and I'll go back and watch the last two because Adam Driver is in it, and it's a Ridley Scott film. And I know that critically it may not be doing as well, um, and definitely at the box office it didn't either. But I think House of Gucci will do well, and I can see also maybe some awards coming from these performances. So there it is. If you're intrigued in the betrayal, revenge, murder, if you are a big fan of any of these actors, I recommend you go check out House of Gucci. If not, I think this is something that you can wait until it's out on VOD. But I had a really good time at the theater as well. Also, we get some interesting trailers because this is more of a, it's not your regular type of blockbuster, so they definitely include some trailers that are not the same, like the same Marvel movies or the same whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, let me know what you thought of House of Gucci in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. Check out, we have comic reviews, movie reviews, TV recaps. Then we go live on Sundays. Most Sundays, we've been doing a pretty good job of getting back into our cadence. And it's just a fun time to hang out. We love seeing people in the chat. So hit the bell and you'll know when we go live every time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.